NIMBY is an acronym for Not in My Backyard. There are many reasons for NIMBYism, but typically it all boils down to this. Homeowners don't want something that is not a single-family dwelling coming into their neighborhood, such as a so-called safe injection site. Be it reality or the perception that will drive reality, no homeowner wants an edifice that will potentially result in property values plunging. But here's a NIMBY story that is completely different. It does not involve a tree-lined street or a subdivision, but rather it centers on a temple of worship. And the intruder to the temple's nearby area is not a halfway house, but rather a pair of 14-story condominium towers. And get this, those who are opposed to the condo development are playing the religious card in terms of voicing their opposition. Yes, here we have a rare case of NIMBYism being cloaked in religion. Here's the skinny. In Richmond Hill, Ontario, there's a Hindu temple near the intersection of Bayview and Elgin Mills, not that far from where I live, actually. I can tell you that when I moved into this neighborhood more than 20 years ago, this intersection did not resemble what it has become today. It used to be vacant fields and a couple of seasonal garden centers and a diner, and that's it. Now it is a growing hub of retail and residential development. In 2001, the Ganesh Hindu temple was completed near this intersection. Like so many other Hindu temples, it is a beautiful structure, to be sure. But a story in the Richmond Hill Liberal reveals that there's a proposal to build two 14-story mixed-use apartment buildings. The two towers will be about 153 feet tall, exceeding the highest point of the temple, which is 72 feet. And this apparently has some Hindus very concerned. Kidambi Raj, a board member with the Hindu Temple Society of Canada, states the following, quote, "For Hindus, the most important thing is the tower has to be seen from a far distance as you come around," end quote. And if those condo towers come to be, there will be an obscured sightline of the temple, at least from one vantage point. But is Mr. Raj accurate when he states that the most important thing for Hindus is that a temple tower must be seen from a far distance? Well, the Richmond Hill Liberal, being the Richmond Hill Liberal, the paper accepted that statement as the gospel. Granted, my knowledge of Hinduism is severely lacking, so I reached out to another Hindu expert, that being Sounder Dilapan, who operates the Hindu website bharatmarg.com. I wanted to see if it is indeed imperative that a Hindu temple must be seen from a very far distance. And the answer is, well, it's nuanced. Mr. Dilapan told me that traditionally, for those Hindus who cannot make it to the temple to pray due to time constraints or other factors, well, they can still pray wherever they may be, much like the devotees of other religions. However, that experience is indeed enhanced if they can see the temple tower in the distance. But this is not a mandatory requirement. It is not a matter of seeing is believing. Indeed, he says, in India, the birthplace of Hinduism, there are many Hindu temples that are almost completely obscured from view, as one would expect in a country that is so densely populated. Look, I get it. Many places of worship want to soar above other buildings, whether it's the minarets of a mosque or the steeple of a church. But I don't think development should come to a grinding halt if sightlines pertaining to religious establishments are going to be somewhat obscured. Indeed, consider the Church of the Holy Trinity in downtown Toronto. It was constructed in 1847, but when the first stage of the massive Eaton Centre was built in 1977, this church was virtually swallowed whole by the mall. If you didn't know where to find the Church of the Holy Trinity, you likely wouldn't. But does obscured sightlines make the Church of the Holy Trinity any less of a church? I say no. Even if a place of worship is underground and completely hidden from the naked eye, it remains a holy site. Indeed, is that not the very definition of faith? The belief in something that cannot necessarily be seen or proven? Bottom line, I have nothing against the Hindus of Richmond Hill nor their temple, but halting a condo development due to supposed religious reasons would set a bad precedent moving forward for all Canadian municipalities. Sorry, but in a nation that champions the separation of church and state, we just can't allow religion to be used as a trump card in the name of NIMBYism. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Benzoid Menzies. Hey folks, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and never miss another Rebel video.